If this video suddenly disappears, you'll know why. I'm not exaggerating, I've already uploaded this twice, and both times the file corrupted before anyone could see it. The game deletes itself, and maybe it's deleting me too. I shouldn't even be saying this out loud, but someone needs to know what's happening inside Roblox. Yes, Roblox, that harmless, blocky kids game. The place where people build obstacle courses and trade silly avatars. That's what makes this so messed up. It hides where nobody would expect it. Behind the cheerful music and the cartoon colors, there's something wrong. Something that doesn't want to be seen. I'm not going to waste your time with long disclaimers. What I'm about to show you isn't some creepypasta copy-paste. It's real. And I'll give you details no one else has managed to keep before the files vanish. That's the catch, you won't find them on forums, you won't see them in live stream archives. They don't last. The game deletes them, the same way it deletes itself, the same way it's been trying to delete me. I thought it was just another shady link at first. Some Discord invite, some inside joke, the kind of stuff people toss around to freak each other out. But then the folder appeared on my desktop. I didn't download it. I didn't click anything. It was just there. A plain white icon labeled with my username. Inside was the game file. A Roblox world that shouldn't exist. You might be thinking, it's just a game, right? What's the worst it can do? That's exactly what I told myself. I wish I hadn't. I wish I could unsee what was in there, the avatars that didn't move like players, the sound that wasn't part of the soundtrack, the way my real name showed up in the chat even when I wasn't typing. There are things I saw in that world I would burn out of my mind if I could. You'll probably wish the same. But you need to know how it started. Because at first, it was nothing but a random link. Roblox had always been my comfort game. I know how that sounds. Millions of kids log in every day to run through obstacle courses, roleplay in fake high schools, or sell knockoff merch for virtual coins, but that was kind of the point. It was safe, colorful, mindless. After school or work, I could log in, hang out with friends, and not think too hard about life. My circle was small but tight. There was Jamie, who built the dumbest obstacle courses full of spinning kill bricks, and Ray, who spent all his time trolling roleplay servers with an army of alternate accounts. We had a running joke that if you looked up chaotic neutral in the dictionary, you'd just find his Roblox avatar smiling like an idiot. Most nights were the same. We'd hop into voice chat, launch something ridiculous, and laugh until one of us rage quit. That night was no different, until Jamie said, "Yo, check this link I just got." Some random sent it in a group chat. Says it's a hidden game. I groaned. Bet it's just a troll lobby with 500 invisible jumps and a jump scare at the end. Ray snorted. Or one of those stupid Slenderman clones. Don't be scared of pixel ghosts, dude. We laughed, and for a minute it was normal banter, the same stuff we always threw around when someone tried to spook us. But then Jamie added, "No, seriously. It doesn't even look like a normal Roblox link. It's different. And it says my name in the invite." That made me pause. Roblox links are always generic strings of numbers and letters. They don't say your username. But Jamie's voice had that edge, the same one you hear when someone tries to sound casual but can't hide the unease. I pulled up the invite he pasted in chat. At first glance, it looked harmless. But then I noticed it too, the last part of the URL wasn't random at all. It was his exact username. That's weird, I admitted. Right? Jamie said quickly, like he was glad someone else saw it. I've been on Roblox for years. I've never seen that before. Ray shrugged it off, but his voice cracked just slightly. Probably just some plugin or script kiddie trick. Stop acting like it's haunted. We kept joking, but the longer the link sat there in the chat, the heavier it felt. Almost like it was waiting. And here's the thing, I'd heard rumors before. Posts buried on old forums, half-deleted Reddit threads, fragments of screenshots with captions like, "Don't join the invite," or, "If you see your name in the link, it's too late." I tried looking for them again later, but most are gone now. Deleted. Just like the game itself tries to delete every trace of its existence. Of course, back then, I didn't tell Jamie or Ray that. I didn't want to be the paranoid one, the guy who ruined the vibe over some creepypasta tier rumor. So I did what we always did. I laughed it off. Alright then. Let's see what kind of pixel ghost is waiting. Worst case, it's a jump scare and Ray screams like last time. When the game finally loaded, the first thing I noticed was how wrong it felt. Roblox games usually start with bright spawns, cheerful soundtracks, maybe some goofy text like, "Welcome to Pizza Tycoon," or, "Survive the Killer." This one opened into silence. No music, no menu. Just an empty, gray flatland stretching into fog. Jamie spawned beside me, his avatar flickering in and out like the textures weren't fully loaded. "Huh. This looks busted," he said. Ray laughed. "Bro, it's just an unfinished game. Someone probably messed with the code." At first, I wanted to believe that. But as I moved my avatar, the emptiness pressed in. The ground wasn't the normal green Roblox grass, it was pale, stretched, glitching like a corrupted image. Every step made a distorted sound effect, like the audio file was playing backwards. In the distance, blocky shapes stood half-rendered. I thought they were trees until I got closer. They were avatars, Roblox characters frozen in place. Their arms twisted at impossible angles, torsos stretched taller than they should be. Their faces weren't the normal goofy expressions but blank, as if the textures were stripped away. "Yo, do you see that?" I asked. "See what?" Jamie's voice wavered. "The players." We all went quiet as our avatars drew closer. The figures weren't moving, but their heads rotated, following us no matter where we walked. Not fast, not animated, just a slow unnatural tracking, like their necks didn't have joints. Ray tried to play it off. "It's a troll game. Someone just coded NPCs to look at us. That's all." But his voice was too quick, too forced. I typed in the chat, "Hello." The letters appeared on my screen, but not in the chat box. Instead, they hovered in the air above my avatar's head, then distorted, scrambled, and vanished. Jamie whispered, "Did you hear that?" I strained, and beneath the reversed walking sounds, I caught something else. Muffled voices, faint, overlapping like an old recording being rewound. The language was garbled, but every so often, I swore I heard my name. The three of us stood there, avatars frozen, none of us daring to move further. Then, without anyone typing, a new message appeared across the center of the screen. "You shouldn't be here." The text wasn't in the chat, it wasn't part of the GUI. It was just there, stark and absolute, stretching across every player's screen. Jamie's mic crackled. "Okay, what the hell is this?" And before I could answer, one of the twisted avatars took a step forward. We should have logged off the moment that message appeared. "You shouldn't be here." That should have been enough. But curiosity works like a hook, it sinks in before you realize you're caught. And in Roblox, a game that's supposed to be as harmless as digital Legos, we kept telling ourselves it had to be some elaborate joke. So we walked deeper. The map shifted the more we moved. At first it was just empty terrain, flat gray land vanishing into fog. Then, a door appeared. A plain white rectangle, too tall, standing in the middle of nowhere with no walls attached. "Alright, this is some backrooms crap," Ray muttered. Jamie's avatar approached first. He pressed the interaction key and the door creaked open, though no sound file should have existed for that. The moment he stepped through, he didn't reappear on the other side. Instead, we all got yanked forward, teleported into a new space. It wasn't a room that belonged in Roblox. The textures were mismatched, stretched wallpaper that looked like scanned images of real places. Childish scribbles in crayon font scrawled across the walls, "Get out. They see you. Run." Some words were backwards, mirrored as if written by a hand that didn't understand direction. "Okay, this is creepy," Jamie admitted, trying to laugh. We split up, each moving down different hallways that seemed to generate infinitely. Every turn looked the same, but every so often we'd find more doors, red, blue, yellow, but whenever we opened one, we were thrown back into the starting hall. No matter what we did, the map folded in on itself, like a maze that didn't want us to escape. And then, the avatars started duplicating. At first, it was subtle. I turned a corner and thought I saw Jamie's blocky figure standing still. But then I realized Jamie was talking in voice chat, saying he was with Ray. The avatar in front of me wasn't moving. But its head slowly rotated toward me with that impossible stiffness. "Wait," I whispered. "Where'd Jason go?" Because when I checked the player list, my own name flickered, then disappeared. "You're right there," Jamie said, confused. But to Ray, I was gone. He swore up and down I wasn't in the game anymore, even though I was moving, typing, speaking. And then he vanished. Not disconnected, not logged out, just gone. His voice cut mid-sentence, and his avatar dissolved like pixels falling apart. Jamie panicked. "Ray. Ray, come back. What the hell?" He didn't leave, he just. I checked the chat, but the messages blurred, replaced with random strings of numbers and symbols. Then a new system message appeared, "One player remaining." "Jamie," I whispered. "It says there's only one." He cursed, his mic cutting with static. I couldn't tell if he was yelling at me or at the game. And then, one by one, the avatars in the hallway, all the distorted, twisted duplicates, turned in unison and started walking toward us. We ran. Corridor after corridor, doors that looped, textures that bled in. We were running, though running in Roblox is more like awkward gliding than actual movement. Every corner we turned seemed to shift the environment, walls stretched, doors folded into themselves, and hallways looped back impossibly. Then I noticed it. At first, it was subtle. A shadow at the edge of my vision, blocky and humanoid, standing where no player should exist. Its form was familiar yet wrong, like one of the standard Roblox avatars, but distorted. The limbs were uneven, the head too wide, textures flickering as if corrupted. Every so often, the avatar would disappear entirely, only to reappear a few feet closer. Not walking, not teleporting normally, glitching closer, frame by frame, like the game was bending reality around it. "Guys, do you see that?" I whispered into the mic. Jamie's voice trembled. "Yeah. I see it. It's following us." Ray tried to brush it off. "Probably a hacker messing with the server. We can just log." And then it stopped. Just hovered in the middle of a hallway, facing us, perfectly still. A chat message appeared in block letters across the center of the screen. "Stop." We froze. Roblox chat usually fills with trolls, memes, or irrelevant text. Not messages directed at us. Not like this. Another message popped up almost immediately. "Log off." "Okay, that's new," Jamie stammered. I typed back, "Who is this?" Nothing. The watcher moved again, glitched forward, closer, and the closer it came, the more wrong it looked. Its square eyes were empty voids, but somehow it looked at me. My username flickered in the corner of the HUD, then a new chat message appeared. "Your name, stop." My heart nearly stopped. It wasn't a prank. It wasn't a server bug. It knew me. I tried to convince myself it was some advanced hacker, a kid exploiting a glitch to scare us. But hackers don't write your name in bold text that hovers over a glitching, humanoid form. Hackers don't manipulate a game so precisely that the environment folds around them. Hackers don't exist in the corner of your vision, watching while every texture bends just slightly out of alignment. Jamie shouted, "I'm out," and tried to disconnect. The game didn't let him. The GUI froze, the buttons vanished, and the lobby refused to appear. The watcher advanced another frame, closer, until the edges of its blocky arms collided with mine in the digital space. I felt the creeping nausea of impossibility, the same queasy pull you get when something impossible is real. Ray vanished mid-sentence, his mic cutting out with a last choked breath. The chat spiked with gibberish, numbers, symbols, and a final message that froze across the HUD. One player remaining. I scrambled, smashing escape, closing the window, alt-tabbing, but nothing worked. And then it happened. The world flickered violently, textures tearing, audio warping, avatars dissolving into gray pixels. My screen blacked out. For a heartbeat, I thought it crashed. The next day, I tried to find the game again. Roblox search came up empty. I typed the exact link Jamie had sent me, hoping maybe it was just buried, a private server, something recoverable. Nothing. The URL didn't exist. The folder on my desktop had vanished too, replaced by blank white space where it had been. I opened my screenshots folder. Most of the images were corrupted, pixels scrambled into indecipherable static. The few that did open showed only gray blocks, walls stretching endlessly, and the distorted avatars, but even those weren't complete. Faces missing, text blurred into lines I couldn't read. Chat logs had vanished entirely. There was no record of anything. I called Jamie first. His voice was flat, almost rehearsed. I don't remember a lot from last night, he said. It's fuzzy. I think we just logged off early. When I pressed him, he changed the subject. Ray refused to answer altogether, his number going straight to voicemail. But my computer wasn't done with me. In the remnants of the deleted game, I found fragments, files I hadn't seen before, named after my username. One was a short video, only a few seconds long. Another was a text document with nothing but my name typed over and over, interspersed with symbols I couldn't understand. I stared at the files, unsure whether to open them. Curiosity 1. I clicked the video. The first frame was the empty gray map, flickering. Then, for a split second, I saw my avatar, alone, frozen mid-step. And then, movement. A shadowy figure glitched across the screen, moving impossibly fast, bending the space around it. I closed it immediately. I can't describe the audio, it wasn't normal game sound. Not a scream, not static, not anything human. I won't play it here, for your sake. I tried to delete the files. Every attempt failed. Windows threw errors, said the files didn't exist, then reappeared moments later. I scanned for malware, ran every recovery program, even restored backups. The fragments persisted. It was as if part of the game had rooted itself to me. I thought about calling Jamie or Ray, but I didn't. After that first clip, I realized talking about it might be dangerous. Some part of that game had followed us, or at least, it was still here, in the remnants my PC refused to let me erase. I spent the night staring at the corrupted footage, wondering how much of it was memory, how much was still real. Every now and then, a folder would appear briefly, flickering on my desktop, only to vanish when I tried to open it. The same gray emptiness, the same glitching shadows, and somewhere inside, my name written over and over. I should have stopped. But I didn't. I tried to move on. I really did. For a few days, I played normal Roblox, joined the usual servers with Jamie and Ray, laughed at glitchy obbies, and traded dumb hats. But at night, my curiosity wouldn't let me sleep. I'd think about the empty gray map, the distorted avatars, the watcher's eyes following me. My desktop would glow faintly in the dark, teasing me with fragments of files I could never delete. So I started looking again. I combed Discord servers, old forum threads, and private chat rooms where people shared screenshots of games that were supposedly lost or deleted. Most leads went nowhere, links vanished, invites expired, and the users would disappear mid-chat, names turning into blank avatars or being removed entirely. It was like the game had a memory, and it erased anyone who mentioned it. Late one night, after hours of scrolling through a thread filled with broken images and cryptic warnings, I found it. A private server link, no name, no description, nothing except the invite code. My heart pounded. I hesitated for a full minute before clicking. "Dude, you really shouldn't," Jamie said over Discord. "I know," I admitted, laughing to cover the tension. "But I've been looking for weeks. This is probably just another troll lobby, right?" The game loaded slower this time. The fog seemed thicker, the gray textures more oppressive. I spawned, alone. I recognized the twisted hallways immediately. The rooms weren't exactly the same as last time, but they were familiar enough that my stomach clenched. Then, a chat message appeared from an unknown player. "You found it again." "Why?" I froze. My hands hovered over the keyboard. I typed back, "I'm just exploring. It's just a game." The reply came almost instantly. "It remembers." And it was true. Every corridor, every distorted avatar, every shadow felt more intentional, more personalized. It wasn't just a game anymore. It was watching me, adapting to me, waiting for me to return. Hours passed, or maybe minutes, I stopped keeping track. I wandered through impossible corridors, ducked behind warped walls, followed doors that led nowhere and everywhere at once. The faint, reverse-muffled audio still played, layered with whispers that seemed to echo my own thoughts. And then it appeared. The Watcher. Not at a distance, but in front of me this time. Its blocky form glitched in and out, limbs bending in ways no normal Roblox character should. Its face, empty and black, seemed to stare straight into me, and my screen froze for a heartbeat under the weight of that gaze. Then a private message popped up in the corner of my screen. Not chat, not system, directly from the avatar. "One more." I stared at the message, my pulse pounding. My rational mind screamed at me to exit, to never click anything again, to delete every trace of the game. But obsession has a way of convincing you it's bravery, not stupidity. That maybe, just maybe, I could understand it. That maybe I could see the end. It started small. My PC would boot on its own, even when unplugged. The startup screen flickered with static that looked almost like the gray fog from the game. Notifications popped up at impossible hours, Discord messages from unknown users, Roblox invites I hadn't clicked, emails with subject lines like, "Don't look away," or "You're next." At first, I tried to rationalize it. Maybe someone hacked me. Maybe it was coincidence. Maybe my mind was playing tricks. But then the deleted files began to return, one by one. Every image I had seen, every corrupted screenshot, every clip I had tried to erase, they all came back overnight, named after me, time-stamped with the exact time I tried to delete them. I woke one night to a soft, persistent typing sound. My apartment was silent, my roommate asleep elsewhere. I looked at the keyboard. Nothing. Then I saw it, letters appearing in a text document on my desktop, forming words I hadn't typed. "Stop coming back." I froze. My hands hovered over the keys, trembling. I wanted to delete the file. I wanted to shut the PC down. But every time I tried, it refused. The text continued forming, line by line, like a message sent from inside the machine. "Something typed on my screen last night, while I was asleep," I whispered into the empty room. It wasn't my hands on the keyboard. My phone buzzed at 3:17 a.m. Discord pinged. Another message from a user I didn't recognize. He knows. He sees you too. I shut everything down and tried to sleep, but the room felt wrong. Shadows stretched oddly against the walls, static whispers curling at the edges of my hearing. Every time I blinked, I thought I saw the watcher in the corner, glitched and still, staring. The next evening, I went to check on Jamie. He had been distant since I found the second invite, reluctant to talk about last night. But when I arrived, the apartment was empty. No door open, no signs of struggle, nothing. The only thing that had moved was the faint glow of a computer in the corner. I called his phone. Straight to voicemail. Then I noticed the screen. His PC wasn't on, but a text document had opened itself. The single line of text chilled me. I'm here. I ran to his bedroom. No one. Then I saw it, the Roblox avatar open on his monitor, frozen mid-step, facing the screen. I thought, at first, it was just the game. A trick of light. But then I realized. It wasn't his avatar. It was him. Jamie was gone. Not the character. Not some digital echo. Him. Just, gone. The hallway smelled faintly of smoke and digital static. His chair was still pushed back. His keyboard, warm. And the game, well, the game had found a new way to reach out. I shouldn't have opened my laptop that night. I told myself it would be the last time. I even deleted Discord, cleared history, disconnected from Wi-Fi, but when I turned the PC on, the icon was there. The game. Waiting. No download, no folder, just there, a blinking reminder that some things refuse to be ignored. I clicked it. The world loaded automatically, faster than it should have. My friends were gone, vanished from the server, vanished from the friend list. The gray fog stretched endlessly, the twisted corridors humming faintly with reversed audio. I stepped forward, and the watcher appeared, glitching in from the edge of my vision, blocky, impossible, human-shaped but not human at all. It didn't speak. It didn't need to. I felt the intent behind it, the digital weight pressing against me. Then the screen started glitching, textures tearing, audio warping, but in the center, words remained, sharp and jagged against the static. You are the game now. I froze. The room around me felt unreal. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, and I realized that I wasn't controlling my avatar. The watcher was guiding me, bending the world through me. Every door I opened, every corridor I moved down, every shadow I passed, I realized with a sickening clarity, I wasn't a player anymore. I was the code. I was the map. The corrupted avatars, the whispering audio, the looping hallways, they weren't just part of the game. They were part of me. It's not just me. There are others. I've seen forums, long-buried Reddit threads, Discord whispers that vanish if you try to screenshot them. People who entered this same gray map, people who clicked the same strange links, people whose accounts disappeared without a trace. Every time, the story repeats. The game appears, they return, they vanish, and the watcher waits. Some part of them becomes the game, and some part lingers, a ghost in the textures. If you've heard whispers about haunted Roblox games, it's always this one. And it's never gone for long. Deleted links reappear. Corrupted screenshots resurface. Files named after players, even years later. The cycle doesn't end. It adapts. It remembers. I should stop typing. I should close this video before the algorithm saves it. But there's one last detail I'm too scared to share. I know if I do, this video won't last a day online. It won't even reach you safely. The screen would glitch, files would vanish, accounts might disappear. So I warn you instead. If you see a random Roblox invite, plain and unremarkable, claiming nothing but offering curiosity, walk away. Don't click. Don't enter. Because once you do, once the gray map opens before you, once the watcher appears, you aren't just playing. You're already part of it. And the worst part? The game is patient. It waits. It knows when you'll be weak, when you'll peak. And when that happens, it pulls you in. I can't tell you what happens next. Not here. Not yet. But if this video suddenly disappears from the site, I thought I could leave it behind. I thought deleting the fragments, clearing my desktop, even wiping old backups, would be enough. But it's never enough. Every file I remove, every corrupted screenshot I try to erase, every clip I hide in a folder or cloud drive, they come back. Always. Staring at me. Glitching at the edge of my vision. My computer hums at night like it's alive, waiting, calling. I try to convince myself it's a glitch. A virus. A prank. Rational thoughts fight back for a few seconds before I realize the truth: this isn't software. It's patient. It's deliberate. It adapts. It remembers. And it wants me. Or maybe it wants someone else next. Sometimes I hear the faint hum of reversed audio in my apartment. Sometimes a folder flickers open on its own, displaying files I don't remember saving. One of them, always the same, bears my name. The distorted gray corridors blink across the screen for a heartbeat before disappearing. And every time, a sense of weight settles in my chest, the same suffocating feeling I had when the watcher first appeared. I stopped trying to explain it to anyone. Friends don't want to hear it. Even if they did, they wouldn't remember. They don't see what I see. They can't. And besides, it doesn't matter anymore. I've learned, curiosity isn't the danger. Leaving is the danger. Trying to erase it only invites it closer. If you ever see a Roblox game that vanishes after you play it, don't join. If you do, don't let it say your name. Don't click, don't explore, don't try to prove it's harmless. It isn't. And once it knows your name, once it makes it personal, it will follow. It will wait. I keep a record of what I can, tiny fragments hidden on drives, screenshots, scraps of text. But they never stay safe. Files corrupt, screens flicker, windows close themselves. Every attempt to preserve evidence becomes another invitation for it to return. The loop is endless. The cycle repeats, over and over, just like it did for Mark, or the others who came before him. They think they're players. They think they're safe. But the game decides who the player really is. And now, I'm not just telling this story to warn you. I'm telling it because I don't have a choice. The fragments demand it. The memory demands it. The watcher, whatever it has become, demands it. If this post or video disappears, you'll know the game found me again. That it reached through the screen, through the pixels, through the corrupted files, and dragged me back into its corridors. And maybe it'll find you next.